and thanks for tuning in to What's in the Box, Kronos One Edition. Just wanted to do a brief introduction of this model kit. I'm a huge fan of the Klingon battlecruiser, specifically the Kitinga. That was one of my favorite models that's come out in the last maybe 20 years. I know people have been wanting one for, probably since the original movie came out, but all we've had is that terrible AMT kit that just doesn't even look the part. It's really hilarious if you actually put the Polar Lights Kitinga kit up next to the AMT kit. It just doesn't. It's no comparison. I actually just finished my Kitinga about 4 months ago. That's got full custom lighting. It's got audio sound effects in it. I have a video posted on this channel of kind of the overview of that model. I didn't really film that or take pictures with the intent of posting it on YouTube, but I put together a video. I had a lot of fun with that kit. It started out just doing custom LED lights, and then I'm like, well, there's no point in doing it if you're not going to do the sound effects. So I had an audio engineer friend of mine do some of the ramp up sounds for that torpedo tube, and then you can find photon torpedoes all over the internet, and I found one from the show that was relatively easy to cut and put into the Arduino board. But I didn't use any of the kit lighting or that Polar Lights sold. I actually bought the kit. I didn't end up using any of it. And then the photo etch, I think the only thing that I used on the photo etch out of that kit was for the impulse engines, and that actually came out of Paragraphics. Actually, I take that back. I used the photo etch for the bridge lighting, and that was about it. I thought you would be able to use the photo etch for the bulb lights and the Cobra headlights, but it just didn't look right. And actually, the plastic that was molded by Polar Lights was such a high quality, you just didn't need it. The only thing that I really did was on the bulb lights, sanded off some of the material in the back to make the windows a little bit bigger in the back so more light got through. But it just didn't warrant the photo etch, and when you put the photo etch on there, you have a step up and down, which really didn't look all that good. So I decided not to do that. So when I do this kit, the Kronos One Kit, I'll probably do a lot of the same things. I'll probably change the sound effects a little bit to be more in line with Star Trek 6 if I can find a clean copy of the audio. And then I'll probably keep the same photon torpedo effect that my Kitinga had. The Kronos One never fired the torpedoes in the movies, it just armed it. What else is there? So you'll kind of notice in this series of photos that I'm going to post that most of the parts do look similar, but there's a lot of new parts and a lot of parts that have been changed to fit this model. It is quite a bit different than the Kitinga. Probably the biggest part they changed was the nacelles. Those are way different than the Kitinga, mostly for the lighting. What else did I notice? Everything was pretty much flash free. There was one sprue that had some flash, but it was very minor, and I don't think it's going to be anything to kind of get that off with an X-Acto. It does have photo etch, a little photo etch sprue, which I'll use. Those are, if you're doing Kronos 1, it's got all these extra details that were photo etch on the actual studio model. The decals actually look really nice, but I think having that three-dimensional aspect of the photo etch is really, going to make those decals not very useful. But they look good. Maybe I'll find use for them somewhere else. But other than that, looks like a very clean kit. The whole pieces were in good shape. When I originally got my Kitinga, it was pretty dinged up. I actually got a replacement because any of the sharp edges on the corners were either dulled off or snapped off. So either the shipping company just tossed that box around, or it was done at the factory. But this one looks pretty spectacular. I didn't check the neck, so I know in the original Katinga release there were some issues with the neck kind of tilting to the side. I didn't take it off the sprue yet, so I don't know if it's going to be a problem this time. I'm hoping not. I really didn't have much of a problem with it on my Katinga. So I seem to remember I warmed it up and kind of made sure it was straight originally, but if you look at my kit now, it doesn't have a tilt to it or anything. But I'm excited to do this kit. Like I said, if you want to look at my Katinga kit, there's a video on my channel that goes over that whole build. And if you have any questions, feel free to PM me on Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube. I don't have a Facebook page yet, but anyway, thanks for watching this, and if you're interested in more, subscribe. I'm also working on the new Round 2 MPC Millennium Falcon, so I'll have some more on that hopefully soon. Talk to you later. Bye.